Hello friends, welcome to our channel. In this video, we shall discuss the procedure for dismantling the crosshead pin of main engine. The engine in this video is a MAN B&W 6G50 MEC 9.5 engine. As a first step of the overhauling procedure, we need to take out the palm bolts of the piston and hang the piston from the stuffing box area. Then we need to remove the hydraulic nuts for the crosshead and take out the crosshead top cover together with the top bearing. We also need to secure the crosshead guides at the forward and the aft and the connecting rod top side using chain blocks. This process is explained in the earlier video of crosshead bearing dismantling. After this, we need to take out the base plate on the top of the crosshead pin at the palm joint region using a minor screwdriver as shown in this video. Then we need to take out the bolts for the locking plate and remove the locking plates for the crosshead guides. While taking out these locking plates, we need to be very careful with the shims that can be fitted with these plates for the purpose of balancing. We need to fit back these shims exactly in the same number as they were fitted in the locking plate. After this, we shift the connecting rod top side towards the palm side by slacking the chain block on the exhaust side and tightening the one on the palm side. This will provide us with a better access to the crosshead pin. Then we feed the lifting tool to the crosshead pin. After this, we need to remove the bolts for the locking plates of the crosshead pin and take out these locking plates on the forward and aft side of the crosshead pin. Then attach two chain blocks from the eyes inside the crankcase to the lifting tool of the crosshead pin as shown in the video. Then we need to take the weight of the crosshead pin on these two chain blocks. Then using a chain block as shown in the video, and slightly tapping the crosshead guide on the aft side, we move the crosshead pin towards the forward side, thereby separating the crosshead pin from the aft guide. After this, we lift the aft crosshead guide clear of the crosshead pin. Then using similar process, separate the forward crosshead guide from the pin and lift up the crosshead guide clear of the pin as shown in the video. After this, using the two chain blocks inside the crankcase, we shift the crosshead pin onto the chain block on the pump side. Then we attach 3 chain blocks from eyes outside the crankcase as shown in the video, and using them we shift the crosshead pin outside the crankcase. Now for assembly, first we put the protective bracket for the crankcase door. This is to prevent the damage to the door surface from chain blocks. Then using 3 chain blocks from outside the crankcase and 1 chain block from the pump side in the crankcase, we shift the new crank pin inside the crankcase as shown in the video. After this, we attach one more chain block to the eye inside the crankcase on the exhaust side. Then the crank pin is shifted to the center using these 2 chain blocks as shown in the video. After this, we lower the crank pin into position using these 2 chain blocks. Then using a chain block as shown in the video, we need to shift the pin in forward direction. After this, we lower the aft crosshead guide in position. Then we need to align the aft guide into the pin by adjusting the chain blocks holding the pin and the guide as shown in the video. This, slacken the chain block holding the pin in the forward direction and completely fit the pin in the aft guide. Then we need to put back the locking plate for the crosshead pin with only one bolt on the pin. This is to prevent the pin from moving out of the aft guide in the forward direction. After this, we can take out the chain block holding the pin in the forward direction. After this, using the chain block in similar way in the aft direction, we shift the pin and the aft guide in the aft direction. After this, we lower the forward crosshead guide into position with respect to the pin. slacken the chain block holding the pin in the aft direction. This will move the pin in forward direction. We need to ensure correct and straight positioning of the pin with respect to the forward guide using the chain blocks. After this, we feed back the pin in the forward guide and put back the locking plate with only one bolt on the pin so as to prevent shifting of the pin. Then lift the crosshead pin and the guide assembly using the two chain blocks on the forward and the aft crosshead guides and take out the chain block and the lifting tool for the crosshead pin. After this, using the palm bolts on the crosshead pin and the belt with chain block attached to the eye outside the crankcase door, we turn the crank pin as required so as to align all the holes of the crank pin with the locking plates. Then we need to put back and tighten all the bolts of the locking plates on the forward and aft side. After this, we need to put back the locking plates for the crosshead guides together with the shims. Then we put back the plate on top of the crank pin for the palm of the piston, and using the palm bolts ensure that the holes are in the correct position. Then we leave the crosshead assembly so as to position the connecting rod top below the pin. After this, we fit the lifting tool on the top side of the connecting rod, and using a chain block from the eye inside the crankcase, we pull up the connecting rod top side. we feed back the crosshead bottom bearing and the locking pins. After this, we attach the lifting tool on the top side of the connecting rod in the pump side. Then we attach a chain block to this lifting tool and to the eye inside the crankcase on the pump side. Then using these two chain blocks, we bring the crosshead top side in position with respect to the crosshead pin. Then we lower the crosshead pin on the top side of the connecting rod. This we feed back the 4 studs for the connecting rod and tighten them using the tool as shown in the video. Then using a combination of chain blocks from inside and outside the crankcase as shown in the video, the crosshead bearing top cover together with the top bearing is shifted inside the crankcase and is fitted back in position. Then, as explained in the video for crosshead bearing overhauling, we need to put back the hydraulic nuts for the crosshead and the piston. This concludes our video for crosshead pin overhauling. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, do subscribe and press on the like button.